Hi, Assalamualaikum. We are from UNGAS 2011 Section 11. In this video, we are going to apply 6 thinking hats on the situation titled IIUM Mahallah Cafe should open from 6 a.m. until 12 midnight every day.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today on Student Talk, we are going to discuss on IIUM Mahallah Cafe should be open from 6 a.m. until 12 midnight every single day. So here with me today, I have 3 panelists who are firm believers of the 6 thinking hats. So we are going to discuss on whether this topic is doable or not. So the general purposes of 6 thinking hats is, firstly, it is to make decisions from different perspectives. Secondly, to understand the subject matter. And lastly, to organize thoughts in a detailed manner. So using 6 thinking hats helps us to think in a creative manner.
I feel very sad because the cafe doesn't open during the midnight time. I'm very hungry and I'm very thirsty and I need to eat. But I only have these snacks. Is it good for me to eat this?
So that was a snippet of a student who was hungry but was not able to feed herself because the cafe closed really early. What do you think about the cafes operating from 6 a.m. until 12 a.m.?
Okay, for me myself, it is the usual time for me to study. So if I study during that time, I will get hungry and therefore I agree.
Okay, alright. Thank you, sister.
I am Ainun. As a blue hat thinker, since we came up with this issue, we need to solve it by hearing all hats talks regarding this. So let's hear from the white hat first.
First of all, white hat means something that you know or is available. What information and understanding that can be deduced from it, or maybe some improvement that can be made, if any. So for the 5 example of white hats according to the situation that has been given by the moderator is, first, opening hours of cafes located in each mahallah of IIUM varies from one another. The second one is there are no shift for workers, which means they have to work around the clock with breaks. The third one is brothers mahallah cafes provide restriction hours for sisters. Fourth one is cafes fan and lights are turned on from opening hours until closing hours. The last one is all mahallah has their own cafes, but not all cafes are operating well.
That's a really good point. Since we already had all the details, let's proceed to the other hats.
For the yellow hat represents positivity. The users who wears yellow hat usually see the positivity in every situation and aspect. For the example, the first one is students don't need to go to the outside if they are hungry during the midnight. The second one is it will lower the cost of transportation for the students. The third one is the owner of the cafe can get more profit due to the extent of time. For the fourth one is they can have a night discussion at the cafe with all the group mates, and it will be more secure than the class. Last one is they can have their own leisure time and also strengthen their bonding between friends. For example, watching the television together at the mahallah cafe.
I believe that yellow hats are aware with all the positive events that might be happened in the futures. Nothing seems impossible. However, we need to hear from the black hat too.
When applying black hat means that looking at the negative side of things and try to come up with a solution to solve it or avoid it from happening. For example, firstly, it is tiresome for the workers. Secondly, staffs may require a raise because they will work long hours. Thirdly, the utilities bill might skyrocket because of the longer hours of use. Fourthly, it will only cater to the minorities, which is students who wake up early and students who wants to eat late at night. Finally, it might be dangerous for the sisters because male and female students can go in and out of the mahallah from early morning until late at night.
Now it's looked that we are neutrals in terms of agreements. We had some disadvantages and advantages on this issue. How about you, red hat?
So for red hats, they will use their emotions or any sentiment attached to it. So to make their decision, they will use their emotions. For example, firstly, my class will end late till night, so I don't have any time to buy dinner and eat dinner. So if it's open until midnight, I can have dinner after my class or discussion. Secondly, I will feel so excited because I can work part-time there because they might need part-time workers because of the long hours. Thirdly, I will feel sad because the worker will work long hours from 6 a.m. to 12 midnight. Next, I will feel very annoyed because my room is near to the cafe, so the students will be very noisy and the workers are cooking and chatting between themselves, so it will be very noisy. Okay, so for the final one, I will feel fear because the male worker will roam around in the mahallah area late at night and early in the morning. So it's dangerous for us sisters.
Green thinker, the first example is cafe should provide a vending machines where students can get their food at night when the cafe already closed. So the second example is the cafe can cook a meal in a bit of portions and pack it and then pass it to the one of the MRC members to sell to the students who needs food. So the third example is each mahallah should provide a refrigerator for students to keep their foods and they can take it whenever they feel hungry. The fourth example is instead of mahallah cafe, one of the cafe at the center, such as Evoke Cafe, can change the operations hour maybe from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. because as we know, all the cafe at the center already open at 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at night. So the last one is each mahallah should provide a cooking area complete with the tools where students can cook at their mahallah whenever they felt hungry. Difficult decisions to be made. However, I had come to a conclusion where we should not agree with this issue since the negative impact seems to be more than the positive impact.
So that's it for the student talk. We thank all the panelists for coming and explaining the application of 6 sticky hats in such situation. It is obvious that 6 sticky hats has its own advantages and disadvantages. So we encourage you to apply 6 sticky hats in every situation that you are facing in your daily lives. Thank you.
But after a long time of thinking, I think it is fine if the cafe doesn't open during midnight time because I think the consequences are a lot more than the advantages itself. I think it is my fault because rather than buying these snacks, I should buy like breads, biscuits, something that